You like teenage girls. When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
And have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong.
Audio Jungle. Against her will.
We went from seeing you or talking to you daily or weekly to not seeing you in 2 years.
Kelly was physically and emotionally abusive. We were required to call him daddy.
You're killing me, man! This is not about music!
Hi friends, how are you guys today? I hope you are having an amazing day so far. If you are not having an amazing day, I really hope that your day gets better from here on out. My name is Shanda and welcome to my channel, you guys. I want to start this video off like every other video we do on this channel, and thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you enjoy this video, and if you don't enjoy it, I really hope that you at least give this video a chance. But if you guys are returning to my channel, thank you guys so much for returning to my channel. I really appreciate it, and it really does mean a lot to me. So today we are going to continue our coverage with the R. Kelly trial. In this video, we are not going to do any witness testimony. I'm going to do a video in a little bit and try and get that one out as soon as possible as well, and we'll continue the testimony in that video. But in this video, I want to go through just a couple of things that I think are just really weird and really odd that are going on in this trial that makes me think, like, is this a trial or like a circus? What is going on here? Like some things with his defense attorneys, just not taking things seriously or making the most stupid mistakes, or like things that are going on outside the trial that have to do with R. Kelly as well that I think are really weird as well. So why don't you guys sit back, relax, and let's talk about it. Okay, you guys, so the first thing that I want to touch on, it actually doesn't have anything to do with the trial right now, but it has a lot to do with R. Kelly and the fact that there seems to be a criminal enterprise at work here. So R. Kelly was arrested in 2019. In August of 2020, R. Kelly was attacked and severely beaten by another inmate in the jail. So there's a lot of theories on this and why this happened and how this could have happened and all kinds of stuff like that. But supposedly what happened is this inmate, R. Kelly, was in his cell and he was asleep with the door open, and this inmate went in there and attacked him and beat him severely, and the guards did not break it up and they just watched and allowed it to happen. That is supposedly what happened in there, and I wanted to bring this up because there's a few different theories on how this happened and why this happened. So at first it seemed like there was a lot of protesters and demonstrators outside of the jail on R. Kelly's supporters on his side demonstrating outside of the facility, and that was causing R. Kelly to get a lot of attention, and the other inmates didn't like that, and a couple of times it caused the facility to go in lockdown. And when that facility went on lockdown, the other inmates got very upset about this, and that is why Jeremiah Farmer attacked him. Now, the person who attacked him, his name is Jeremiah Farmer. This is him right here. He is a Latin king. He's in the Latin Kings, and he looks very scary. Like, I would hate to have an altercation with this guy. But he's the one who attacked him. Now, after he attacked him, he did come out and say that he was encouraged by the NCC to attack R. Kelly. And the NCC personnel actually took him to the cell and encouraged him to go in there and attack R. Kelly. And he said once he started attacking him, the NCC personnel did not stop the fight until they were satisfied that R. Kelly had sustained serious injury. Now, there's a lot of this, a lot of theories going on about this. So, there was a guy, an ex-employee of R. Kelly's. Now, supposedly, this ex-employee paid Jeremiah Farmer to attack R. Kelly. Now, he says supposedly R. Kelly owes him around $100,000 and he wants his money. So he paid this inmate to attack R. Kelly. Now, if what this guy says is true and the prison guards was actually encouraging him and took him to R. Kelly's cell and encouraged him to attack him and then didn't stop the fight, what does that say to you guys? I mean, it says to me that he probably paid these prison guards to look the other way as well. And there's a lot of thoughts in my head about that, but like at the end of the day, I know what R. Kelly is accused of. I know what he allegedly did to all of these women and young ladies and minors at the time. But at the end of the day, taking the law in your own hands and attacking someone is not okay. And those prison guards are there to make sure everything is okay and make sure the inmates are safe, and they're supposed to keep the prison safe. And I know there's a lot of them that don't. I know that there's a lot of crooked cops and crooked prison guards out there. But if they were paid to look the other way, and if they encouraged this inmate to do this, they need to be investigated, and I feel like they need to be punished for that. But moving on, another theory is that R. Kelly and this ex-employee actually paid this Jeremiah Farmer. R. Kelly paid him to beat him up himself. And R. Kelly also paid for the prison guards to look the other way. Now, the reason why he did this is the theory. This is not like, this is what happened. It's a theory. The reason why people think he did this is because he was denied bail. And he wanted to be attacked and have the guards, like, look the other way so that he could file a motion. Him and his attorneys could file a motion and say that R. Kelly is not safe in the prison, and then try to get him out for the duration of the trial, which is exactly what they did. Even though R. Kelly didn't sustain any kind of horrible injury, there's no fractures or anything like that, and all the tests came back okay, his lawyer said that he suffered serious psychological and mental issues from the beating, which could be true, but shortly after the beating, right after that, they filed to get him out of the facility for the duration of the trial by saying he is not in good hands and he, was not safe in there. So a lot of people think that maybe R. Kelly did this himself. Now, the reason why I bring this up now is because there's all of this talk about a criminal enterprise. Is there one? Is there not one? Like, what is going on? But in my opinion, if R. Kelly was able to pay prison guards to look the other way and pay someone to attack him like that so that he could possibly file a motion and get out of jail, that shows me a criminal enterprise as well, because the guards are turning the other way. You're paying, like, prison guards off. You're paying other inmates off. And let's not forget about Azriel Clary. She was attempted to be bribed for $2 million. John Doe number 1 attempted to bribe her. He's being in trouble for that. Azriel Clary's car was also blown up. It was lit on fire. It was lit on fire. And then Tamara Burke, the founder of the Mute R. Kelly movement, she was threatened, and the premiere of Surviving R. Kelly, there was a bomb threat called in, just all this stuff. And then his former employees, Demetrius Smith, he bribed state employees to get Aaliyah fake ID. All of these things show me that there's some kind of criminal enterprise at work here. Now, if R. Kelly did not pay this guy to do this to himself, then that also, and what if it was the ex-employee trying to hurt R. Kelly because R. Kelly owed him money? That also tells me that that ex-employee has probably done that before. He knows who to go to. He knows who to pay to do something like that or get something like that done. So he has probably done this before, but this time he's just turning against his employer. So even if it was that, that possibly could show that there's still a criminal enterprise. However, R. Kelly denies all of that. He says he doesn't owe anybody money. He doesn't know why that happened to him. But it's just something to think about, because I wanted to mention that because this whole video is going to be about just kind of weird things going on. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions down below. Definitely let me know what you think about that, and let's move on. So the next thing that I want to talk about is there is a woman from R. Kelly's inner circle from 2014 to 2018. Now, she worked for R. Kelly. She was an entertainment lawyer. She worked for R. Kelly, and she was recently hit and killed in a suspicious hit and run back in Chicago. Now, let's go ahead and read this article real quick because I find it very odd and very interesting. Okay, so it says evidence from witnesses and police cameras fails to produce and arrest a hit-and-run death of prominent entertainment lawyer. After enjoying a beautiful afternoon at the Garfield Park Conservatory, Linda Mensch, that is her name, Linda Mensch, and a longtime friend of hers, walked out with a brightly painted pot from a gift shop. Her friend offered to carry the heavy pot. Mensch followed her. Her friend was first carrying it, and Linda was behind her, a few feet behind her, when they walked through the crosswalk in front of West Side Conservatory. A black van barreled past and hit Linda, and after he hit her, the driver did briefly get out, but got back in his car and sped away. Now, Linda Mensch was 70 years old. She died at the hospital. Her death is mourned by musicians and artists and others that she has helped as a lawyer. That was, when this article was wrote, it was a week ago. And there has been no arrest, and I did check, there's still been no arrest on this, despite considerable evidence provided by witnesses and police surveillance camera. They had the license plate number. They had the whole thing on camera. They also had descriptions of what the driver looked like from the witnesses. So at least 3 witnesses said that the driver got out, including a friend who gave a description of the driver to the investigators. Now, police have the van's license plate number and the name of the van owner. And like they said, the camera caught it all. Police have released, it was a black 2007 GMC Savannah cargo van, along with the plate number, but no description of the driver. So the police did not release the description of the driver to the public, but they did get one. Linda Mensch, her daughter, her name is Jessica Hyman, and she is a public defender in New York City, which I also thought was very odd. I don't think she has anything to do with this trial, but it is a little odd that that's where the trial is. She said the family has received no updates from the police. A spokesperson or a spokesman from the department would only say that the investigation was continuing and no one was in custody. That's all they would say. Now, her daughter said, "I'm assuming that they've taken it seriously, but they haven't really been in touch to keep us updated at all." She said, "It feels like we're being left high and dry, and it's depressing." Now that is very sad, and that's also weird as well. If you think about what we just talked about, and those guards were paid to look the other way, is it possible that this could be a hit? Because that's one of the theories out there. This could be a hit, and the cops were paid to not be able to find the driver. Is it possible? Yes, anything is possible, but is that what happened? I mean, I don't know. No one knows. So this is another portion of the article, but we are just going to go down here and read that Linda Mensch worked closely with a number of acclaimed artists, including Ella Jenkins, Honeyboy Edwards, and the group the Ohio Players. A member of that group, James Diamond Williams, recently told Wise that it was Mensch who helped the band secure their contract with Mercury Records back in the early 1970s. Linda Mensch also briefly represented R. Kelly, but resigned in 2018. Now, she represented R. Kelly for 4 years, and she also denied the allegations that were coming out against him. She spoke up for him. Now, Linda Mensch was like on his PR team. She was actually on R. Kelly's PR team, and she was like an entertainment lawyer. She was like his crisis manager. So it was her job to make R. Kelly appear like a great person in the public eye. So what I'm thinking is, if it is her job to make him look great in the public eye despite all of these allegations coming out against him, if you're going to make somebody look great to the public, then you got to know what they've done wrong so you can clean it up. Because if it's your job to clean up their messes, you got to know what kind of mess you got to clean up, right? So that was her job, and that makes me wonder if she was supposed to like be the one to clean up his messes, then she had to know what the mess was to clean up. So that makes me think that she might know something. Possibly she might know something, and I'm very interested to see if she was possibly going to be subpoenaed to testify in this trial, and possibly something happened to her. Now, I know this probably sounds really far-fetched to some of you, but it is just very odd that a very suspicious hit and run happened to the woman who was like his save face person on his crisis team. It's really weird, and when you put it together with everything else, it just seems weird. And I am just relaying to you like some of the theories that are going on out there. Now, this could just be a regular hit and run with a stolen car, and that's why they can't find the person. It very well could be, but is it possible that it had something to do? And a lot of people seem to think that this was a hit, but I mean, I don't know, but I just thought it was something weird, and I just wanted to bring it up, just like the R. Kelly being attacked. But now let's go ahead and move on to the stuff going on in the trial. Now, I don't know if, like, R. Kelly, his defense team is nervous. I don't know if they are just not prepared, because remember, R. Kelly got them 2 months before the trial started. He completely changed his defense team. So I don't know if they're just not prepared. I don't know if they're nervous. I don't know if they're possibly making all these mistakes on purpose so that if R. Kelly loses the trial, he can appeal and claim inadequate counsel. That is a possibility as well. So I don't know if they're like throwing the trial on purpose so he can appeal. I don't know if they're just nervous. I don't know, but they seem to be making a lot of really goofy, ridiculous mistakes that most seasoned, especially seasoned attorneys, trial attorneys, would know better. I mean, when they first started the trial, in the opening statement, Nicole Blankbecker, one of his defense attorneys, was talking on her opening statement, and at the end she was talking all passionately, and she said, Now, this is why you need to find this man guilty. I mean, not guilty. I was like, what? Like, okay. I mean, that she just misspoke, sure. But then another time she said they did birthday math wrong at the beginning of the trial. They did birthday math wrong for one of the survivors. And then another time, I mentioned this in my other video, she was talking and she said that most of his sexual relationships were consensual. And I'm thinking, most? What the hell? Why would you say that? You're supposed to say all of his sexual relationships are consensual. You don't want to say most. That's duh. I mean, is she really just misspeaking all of these times? Is she just nervous? I have no idea. Possibly. But then another one of his attorneys, when Faith Rogers testifies, and he cross-examines her, they're talking about twerking, and he says, and this is in my very next video that I'm going to film here in a little bit, but he says, have you ever heard of dropping? And the prosecution is like, I object. And he says, I'll withdraw my question. And then he starts laughing. Okay, first of all, that was a stupid question. It had nothing to do with, I don't know how that's going to help your client. But then you withdraw your question and then you just laugh. Like, he didn't just kind of nervously chuckle. He laughed for like several seconds. So I'm like, what is going on here? What the hell are you laughing at, dude? Like, what is funny? Because you guys are sucking right now. You are not providing a good defense whatsoever to your client. What is funny about that? I don't know. I mean, the defense is going to start presenting their case tomorrow. Hopefully they will be, hopefully they have a good strategy and they're going to come out swinging and try to at least help their client. Maybe they are going to suck on purpose so he can try to appeal. I have no idea. But we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, another thing that happened is R. Kelly's lawyer sent out a tweet during court. Now, he is an attorney, and he's been an attorney for a long time, for decades. So he knows what he's doing. He was told specifically to not do anything like that. Stay off social media, don't talk to the press, nothing like that. And he sends out a tweet during court. Not only that, but he sends out a tweet about the trial during court. This is the tweet that he sent out. Now this says, after all, the RICO quote-unquote enterprise is based on a series of independent relationships and events that the government is trying to patch together like different types of fabric and trying to pass it off as silk. So this seasoned attorney sends out this tweet in the middle of court, in the middle of a huge racketeering, sex trafficking trial with the king of R&B as his client. And when the judge completely snaps on him, he says he didn't know. That was not allowed. Like, what, sir? You've been an attorney for decades. You should know. You should know better. I mean, that's just stupid. I don't know if all these mistakes are on purpose. It just seems ridiculous. So he's basically talking about the trial, saying that, everything that they're talking about is just independent relationships of R. Kelly's that the government is trying to sew together and pass it off as silk. And it's all different fabrics. Like, I get what he's saying. And, I mean, it's not, like, stupid what he's saying, because of a lot of legal experts think that same thing and have said that same thing. That, I mean, they've definitely proven him to be a sex addict or sex deviant and controlling and mentally abusive and emotionally abusive, but that's not the charges here. They're having a hard time proving racketeering in a criminal enterprise. But I mean, I have seen it. I've seen it in just my research, but they haven't really presented those things too much. So it's, I don't know. And besides that, there was also a fight in the courthouse lobby, the lobby of the courtroom, or the lobby outside of the courtroom. There was a fight. And there was a tweet sent out by one of the reporters. Now, this is that tweet. This says, the media and public watching the R. Kelly trial in overflow rooms in Brooklyn Federal Court were forced to, quote, shelter in place for about 15 minutes after an incident in the courthouse lobby, according to marshals. Not clear what happened, and court officials are refusing to comment. So that is something, I mean, it's not like something huge. It's just another little thing that is just weird, and something that I wanted to report on for you guys. But it's weird. I heard several different theories that, you know, it was possibly a diehard R. Kelly fan who was possibly in fighting or had a little argument or scuffle or whatever with some of the advocates for the R. Kelly survivors. There's advocates for the survivors there. There's diehard R. Kelly supporters. There's people on both sides, and emotions are really high, and the stuff they're talking about is just very detailed and disturbing, a lot of it, and it's making people's energy really on edge. So I'm sure, you know, that could be what happened. But another theory is that Demetrius Smith, this happened on the day that he testified, and he was subpoenaed to testify, and he's testifying under immunity, and he was forced to be there and forced to testify against R. Kelly, and he didn't want to. So, and being as the little altercation broke out on that day, when he was up there, he was very nervous, and he was basically trying not to answer any of the questions. He just didn't want to be there. He was trying not to answer. He was saying he didn't remember things. And remember the doctor, when he testified, he said, as soon as I get off the stand, I am leaving town. And then he was doxxed. His address and everything was doxxed after that. So it seems like some people seem to think that it's somebody who is trying to get at Demetrius Smith for testifying against R. Kelly, which, I mean, could be. It could be somebody that was supposed to, or it could just be a fan, like, upset that he was, you know, backstabbing his employee or employer or former employer. I mean, it could be anything, but I wanted to mention all of these things to you and let you know what has been going on outside of the courtroom and some inside of the courtroom, and see what you guys think. So definitely let me know what you guys think about all of this that we just talked about in the comment section down below. And I am going to take a little break, and then I'm going to film the other witness testimony and get that out for you guys as well, as quick as I can. We're going to go over Faith Rogers' testimony. We're going to go over the minister, his testimony, who married Aaliyah and R. Kelly. We're going to go over a lot more testimony here in just like about an hour or so. So just let me know what you guys think about everything that we just talked about, and I will be back as soon as I can with the next update on this trial. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps, and I appreciate it so much. And if you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You know you want to. I would love to have you guys in the family. And definitely click that bell for all notifications so you guys don't miss any updates on the R. Kelly trial or anything else. I am planning on doing other videos for you guys that I am doing. So yeah, other than that, you guys, definitely let me know what you think. And remember, guys, in a world where you can be anything, please be kind to each other. Bye, guys.